Welcome to part 1 of how to make a comic in easy way. In this video we will dive into basic planning stages covering everything from the choosing your comic genre to writing, compiling characters. Let's get started. Genre. Before you start it, important is to pick a genre. Comic comes in all form action, adventure, romance, sci-fi or even a slice of life. Choose one that resonates with the story you want to tell. Tip: if you're unsure, think about the stories you enjoy the most. Those are often the best genre to start with. Target audience. Once you selected the genre, think about who will read the comic. Will it appeal to kids, teens, or adults? The tone of your comic will change based on your audience. Writing the story. Start with a simple plot idea. Next is the plot. Don't overcomplicate it at the beginning. Start with a basic story construct that the beginning, middle, and end of your story. For example, a action comic, your hero might be stopping a villain from taking over a city. Simple, right? Create some conflict and resolution. A strong story always has conflict, something your character need to overcome, whether it's an personal challenge or an external threat. Make sure there's a problem they need to solve by the end. Characters. Developing your main character. Now let's create your character. Start with your protagonist. What do they look like? What their personality is? What motivates them? Take example. If your hero is brave but insecure, or maybe they are funny but struggle with responsibilities. And don't forget the supporting characters. The supporting cast. This character should help or challenge the protagonist. Make sure they add depth to your story without taking the spotlight. Choosing an art style. Finding a art style you're comfortable with. Comic can be drawn in many styles from realistic to cartoonish. Choose an art style that fit your story and your skill level. If you're a beginner, keep it simple. If you're not sure where to start, look for inspiration. Look at the comics or graphic novels or manga you love. Study their art style, but don't worry about copying. Your unique style will develop over time. Dialogue writing. Keep dialogue short and punchy. In comics, less is more. When it comes to a dialogue, your goal is to show, not tell. Keep dialogue short and let the visuals do something of the storytelling. Give your character a unique voice. Each character should have their own way of speaking. Is your hero confident and a direct or sarcastic and witty? Dialogue should reflect their personality, which means the comic bubble should be also have a various shapes and designs. That's all for the part 1 of our comic making tutorial. By now you should have a good idea of comic genre, plot and characters, and even your art style. In part 2, we will get into sketching, panel layout, and bringing your comic to life. Make sure you follow all the steps and get into part 2 and let done with your comic and finish and publish it by the part 3.